asking God to heal me, and I'm grabbing a hammer and breaking my hand intentionally or even ignorantly, and it's not going to happen that way. And so once we make those adjustments, definitely this is the real deal. There's a lot of herbalists out there, a lot of diets out there, and they're all good in that sense, but this right here is the real deal. Like I can assure you and say that. Like they always say, oh, some kind of.
Okay, well, we're going to talk to you, of course, later on as we go through the show, because I know you have to leave now to be a part of the official opening. But Sherman, getting back to you, when we're talking about diets, because with Newlife and Dr. Sebi products, we're not talking about dieting, we're talking about natural herbal products where it actually works at whatever the situation is.
Yes. We promote alkaline, starchless, or mucus-free diet along with the herbs, because the herbs work in conjunction with the body, getting the body back to that 100% state of health. But in order to maintain that, you need to eat the proper foods. The foods that we offer are alkaline based as opposed to being acid based. Their molecular structure is complete. The incomplete molecular structure of a plant will garner acidity, and acidity, as you know, erodes and eats away at the cells, and this is the genesis of the disease, that mucus or that inflammation that is found in the body, and left unchecked, a disease will manifest in the coming years.
Now, when we're talking about this seminar tonight, we know that we have a lot of sick people in the world, but here in the Bahamas, we have a lot of sick people. What are some of those diseases that really plagues the Bahamian populace that you've been dealing with, and probably Dr. Sebi will deal with tonight?
Well, the main ones is obesity, diabetes, hypertension. If 10 people come to us for a consultation, maybe 9 out of 10 people have diabetes, but the majority of them all of them have hypertension. So, and we know it's a diet-related disease. It's a high refined carbohydrate diet that is the cause of diabetes. So we remove you from the high refined carbohydrates, the sugars, the starches, and we put you on an alkaline diet. We put you on a diet mostly of natural grains, natural fruits and vegetation.
I've been in the graduate year, so I did it. Many of us, my wife did it. We get to change the most harmful things. It's harming us, and this is why there's so much unrest. Because we are like a machine that should be burning a certain kind of fuel, gasoline, but they're putting diesel in it, and vice versa. That engine is not run correctly right. I've never been to a place in my life that has brought out so much love, anxiety, emotion like the Bahamas. I am very much in love with the country. Honestly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
minister to us tonight, that we will be well, that we will take the wisdom, we will take hold of the knowledge, and we will not be just hearers, but doers. And so enlighten us now. And Father, we will not ever forget to give you the praise, the thanks, the glory, and the honor for the wisdom received here and the knowledge tonight. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and let the people of God say amen.
Illness and hypertension, impotency and mental illness and prostate cancer, things that are common maladies here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I contacted the distributors and invited Dr. Sebi, never met him, don't know anything about him, to my program. I was instantly impressed. Since then, Dr. Sebi has secured the assistance of Jamal Moncur, who is president and founder, originator of the Newlife Plaza, or rather the Newlife Vegetation Center in the East Street Plaza north of Little General on East Street. I'd like for you to welcome this evening one of his keen assistants, Mr. DJ Counselor, to tell us about what has been going on at Newlife and how that particular facility can assist you. Please let us welcome him.
Good evening. I've been working along with Jamal and this team now for about almost a year, and working them from the media perspective, not his assistant, but from a business perspective. And I will be honest, at first I was a little skeptical on everything that was being said, to say how powerful these herbs are. But after interviewing a lot of the patients, their clients, and seeing them come to tears and just talk about how their diseases are being reversed, it was mind-boggling. I'm traveling on the road with them to some of the family islands again, and just meeting individuals and a warm welcome, individuals who have been impotent. What was most touching recently was a young lady that who was already prepped for taking for going on the dialysis machine, which of course they put the tubes in them and so forth. And after she explained her story, what it transpired over the last few weeks, and going on to taking the CMOS for about only 2 weeks, and went back for a final exam before she actually started going on dialysis, and the doctor told her she didn't need it anymore. It was like, wow, just from drinking CMOS. Going on the road again and just interviewing individuals from police officers to nurses, and the list goes on and on. Any one of us today could be plagued with sickness, and they found that it's just simple as just changing your diet. A lot of folks, even on the road, would approach me and say, "Well, I hear you're working along with so forth," and said yes. And I can proud to say that these products are working. I'm using the products myself. Again, the CMOS definitely, it's when you think about just investing a few dollars for your health versus going on, chemo or having to take an operation that costs us hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you could just, whatever the case is, whatever situation a doctor can tell you that you may seem gloomed about, it's just a matter of just changing your diet. And so working along with them from the website, flyers, and just being on the road with them, definitely I would say that this is 100% real. There's no smoke involved, no little gimmick, no extra something between the table, nothing, you know what I'm saying? So each one of you took the initiative to invest $30 into your life, and all of us who are businessmen or family, definitely would know that, your health is your wealth, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense you investing in getting a home or a car or sending your kids off to school, and you're not going to be around to enjoy those things. And so I just would encourage each and every one of us. It's not the easiest thing to do to change our diet, but one step at a time, you know what I'm saying? And so again, I personally know individuals from diabetes, again, and just recently heard someone in the country just got reversed from HIV, you know what I'm saying? So definitely this is the real deal. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for investing $30 into your life. And definitely when Dr. Sebi comes, every question you can ask can be answered. There's a lot of speculation out there, and again, I've met nurses and doctors who are now sending individuals to Newlife, because again, the medicines are not going to work. They're there to suppress the situation, but just to think about it, God was so marvelous that He created our body to heal itself. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why it's not doing that is because of our ignorance. And I can say this without an apology. You can be ignorant for your whole entire life, but that won't change your situation. You know what I'm saying? If you have a cancer problem, diabetic problem, and you being ignorant about what's going to help you, it's not, your body's not going to repent for you. We got to change our diet, and that's just the fact. We perish because of lack of knowledge. So you guys are in the right room. I want you to give yourself a round of applause for investing into your life. Thank you guys very much. Be blessed.
Thanks a lot, DJ. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to introduce Dr. Sebi, but let me just say that what captured my attention and imagination is when he said that we are created to eat natural foods, which I have been doing since 1982. But he told me that my diet was all wrong. It's very strange because all of the natural books and New Age books and health books that I have been reading told me pretty much to follow the diet that I had been following. I had been drinking carrot juice and eating carrot, which he said is an unnatural food. I've been eating potatoes, which he says is an unnatural food. Sweet potato, cassava, corn, turnips, spinach, all unnatural food. All created by man. And he will explain tonight in the 15th century that our bodies were designed to be fed by electric food because that's what it is. And I was taking a whole host of vitamins, spending approximately $100 a month on vitamins, which he says are useless because the body has no need for vitamins. The body is made up of 102 minerals, 92 of which can be found in sea moss. Minerals, and minerals only. Not vitamins, not amino acids, not proteins, but minerals. So you're in for a treat tonight. Take off all of your expectations because you are going on a ride that will change your life. He was born in 1933. He never went to school, not even kindergarten. He's self-educated, self-taught. He's world famous. He is Dr. Sebi. Let's welcome him. Normally you keep the clapping going until he enters the room, you know. This is a 79-year-old young man, Dr. Sebi. We're also happy this evening to welcome Mr. Jamal Moncur, who is the president of Newlife, and Dr. Sebi's wife, dressed in white. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. I don't know how to express my thanks to you and my gratitude. Before I begin, I have to thank Jamal, which all you all know the name, Jamal. I have to thank Julian. The brother just now. And you, the greatest participant. I'm very extremely happy to be here today to deliver this message because every time I come to the Bahamas, you know, it's like a rejuvenation. I grew up in a house that were Garvey. I know many of you know about the Garveyite movement. My grandmother was a nurse, and my mother was something else in it. And all I heard was Garvey and some blackness. So I always stood with it. So tonight, I hope that in exploring our history, our offering, that some good would be receive from it, because I don't intend to, do you hear me? I don't intend to deploy words that are empty. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I was the obedient child then to my mother and my grandmother. I'm still an obedient child to you. You see, when I came to the Bahamas, it was against my will. I was reluctant. Jamal called my wife. My wife told me, said, but I don't want to go to the Bahamas because I don't think that they want to hear the message. I think they like Haitians. I said, you ask my wife. My wife said, what makes you do that? Or say that? When you know that each individual is different, groups are different, you cannot put everyone in the same category. Just go. I said, okay. So we came. And here you came. The first, the second, and now the third, or the fourth. And I'm happy to see you there. And I'm hoping that I am the servant to you tonight that I always think that I want to be and should be. We need servants. We need someone to come with the truth. Of course we do. I found someone, so I want to bring you the same message. I was very sick. I was impotent at 30, diabetic at 27, asthmatic from birth, insane at 30. I wanted to hurt my wife. I wanted to kill her. Sure I did. This is why when people come to me today with problems of the nerve, you could tell that it is not the person that is bad, it is what we have been eating. Why have we been eating these foods that we were given? Because we were removed from that place where God placed us. We have to always go back. Tonight, we want to clarify. We want to clear things up. Sure we do. We want to clear it up. But to know how far away we are from where we should be as far as our health, we have to take a little trip back. Because today, we have diabetes, we have cancer, we are impotent, we wear glasses, we are sick, we are born sick, something that is against the arrangement of life, to be born sick. How could that be? You see, the Holy Bible teaches us in the book of Genesis, Ezekiel, and Revelation that the herbs are for healing. But it didn't have to tell us this. We live in the jungles. That's all we had. All we had in the jungles of Africa were the things that God provided for us. And those things that God provided for us, they didn't have any starch. There was no starch in those things. There couldn't have been starch in them. Because if God had made a substance that had starch, God is not a loving God. Because starches are known scientifically as carbonic acid. You see? So now as we go back to the jungles of Africa, we begin to see that there are ingredients there that we need. Not only to make us healthy physically, but emotionally, where we need it so much. We need the love that we once had for each other. The love that kept the village together. The love that we didn't need old folks' homes. No, we didn't have old folks' homes. When we get old, we die in the eyes of our great-grandchildren. We were home. Today, I can't even speak to my neighbor because I'm afraid. I don't know who they are. What you mean you don't know who they are? They're a human being like you. And if you give them the love that you give yourself, that neighbor will protect your house while you protect theirs when they're gone. It is beautiful to love. It is peaceful. It is encouraging. So as we go back a little bit into history, we find that we, the African people, we were one of the most obedient group of people to the mandate of God. We didn't have rice, we didn't have beans, we didn't have cows, we didn't have goats or dogs in Africa. We didn't have any of that in Africa. Why? Because we only had the things that God provided for us. That's all we had. And because we only had those things, we were very healthy, we were loving. We didn't leave Africa to go and enslave anyone. We didn't leave Africa to go and take the land of another. We was quite comfortable where God placed us. But one day, they removed us. And here we are, a group of people, eating things that hurts us, eating things that hurt your neighbor. Right there we see confusion. How did it begin? Well, let's go back. As we said, that we only had the things that were ecclesiastical, the things that God made. Today, according to the science of geology, these things that we had in Africa are considered today as being native plants. Native plants. What are native plants opposed to other plants? You see, over the years, we were unaware that there were people in Europe doing research as far as cross-breeding, cross-pollinating, or hybridization, cloning. All these things were going on. This is why many of us believe that when you take peppermint, or aloe vera, or ginseng, that you're taking an herb that God made. Not so. God did not make any peppermint, nor spearmint, nor aloe vera, nor comfrey. These things are hybrid. How do we go about finding these things to be hybrid? We gave it a hydrogen ion concentration test. To break it down simple, it is a pH test. You may have heard the word abbreviation pH, but to apply it to us, we didn't know how to accommodate it. pH only means a measure used to separate that which is acid from that which is alkaline. That which is alkaline is godly. That which is acid naturally was made by man. And that is where coffee comes in, sugar comes in. All these things are made. They aren't natural. This is why we recommend that you take agave instead of sugar. Because sugar came from a cane that was made in a laboratory. There we go there. We eat laboratory food. In that state of eating laboratory food, I can't extend to you what I would like to. I want to give you my love. It's nice to be in love. It's nice to give love, and it's nice to receive it. When someone tells us that they are in love with us, you know how it makes us male and female when they tell you, I love you. You want to pick up the ball. I know I do. I like when my wife tells me I love you, especially when I've done something that I deserve punishment for. So of course it is. It's delicious. It is good. But to get to that love state, for me to love you, I have to eat the foods that would bring about an environment in me that would avail me the privilege to love you, but beginning with myself. I cannot love you unless I love me. How could I give you something that I don't have? I can't. If I'm not in love with myself, I cannot give you any love. But if I love me, automatically love everybody. Chinese, Eskimos, Arabs. It's nice to love Chinese, Eskimos, Arabs, and everybody else. slave master to bring us over here, they told us stories. And they brought us. Okay, fine. All of us experienced that in history. White experienced it. They were slaves once. Koreans were slaves once to Japanese. We were slaves to the white. It's always that time in which it seemed that man is going to do things to another man. Man inhumanity to man, as we know it to be. Why? I don't know. I could only suspect that it is the food that we eat. Because the African people, the Mayan people, the Aztec, and the Olmec, they weren't enemies. They were not enemies. They didn't call us names, you know, like they call us today. These funny names, colored folks, and other things. It's okay. It's okay. We are loving people. They could tell us anything. Tonight, we want to set the record straight that the diet of a gorilla is not the same as that of a polar bear. They're both animals, but one was designed by God to only eat green leaves. The other has nothing to do with leaves. I'm going to eat blood, okay? And I don't have to go to a nutritionist to ask them, could you please explain to me about my diet and the amount of calories, the amount of protein? No, that polar bear knows that he has nothing to do with leaves. He's going to eat blood. The gorilla likewise. He will never put a piece of meat in his mouth. So, we begin to see that in the arrangement of life, there are groups of cells or people that eat only a certain food. Make no mistake, this is coded by God and nature. But when you ask a black person like myself, well, what is the food that you're supposed to eat, Dr. Sebi? I don't know. Well, how come you don't know? Well, the eagle knows. The eagle is a bird, right? You would think that birds eat seeds and fruits. Eagle eats meat. He would eat you. But there are birds that only eat seeds and fruits. So you see, there's always that separation, a line of demarcation. So what other foods that we used to have? We don't know those foods today. In my research, trying to be what I am today, I was a steam engineer. I was a merchant seaman for 10 years. I was interested in herbs all my life, from my grandmother's day, because you know how your grandmother teaches. I know the Bahamian grandmother did the same thing. There isn't a Bahamian that doesn't remember their grandmother or their mother taking them to the plants and saying, use this for the cold, use this for the fever. And they do. You call that empirical research, but it's supposed to be true. Science respects empiricism. Why those things work? Because the herbs that they were showing us as children, they were herbs that were natural. But in these years now, they've been bringing herbs to us that are natural. And we're not able to identify them because our research didn't take us there. Our research just did not take us there. We see many, many things happening to us and we don't know how to approach it. In this instance, I'm going to go to my brother. My brother was a reverend. For 30 years, he was a preacher. Everybody loved my brother. Of course they did. Pastor Gay. Beautiful man. I love him. He's my younger brother. I had my mama to raise him. Because you know how mother does in the West Indies. The older son and the older daughter have to take care of everyone, right? But that was me and my brother. But he became a preacher. My mother wanted me to become a preacher. I said, no, I don't want to be that. She said, why? I said, Mommy, I want to be a servant. I want to do something good. I want to be a preacher. But what you mean you want to do something good? Preacher doesn't do that? I said, I don't know, but for what I have seen in the past, I said, and my brother, they don't follow the mandate of the Bible. I said, and I don't want to do that, because that is living vicariously. You don't do that and get away with it. God is at the bottom of everything. I said, he got a hard head on his table right now. A bleeding hard head that he's going to eat. Man, I can't eat that. Because God is living in the house. So I said to my brother, I said, look, man, why can't you see what the Bible is showing us? We have to be obedient. It's not about being macho man. That doesn't get you anywhere in trouble. You have to be obedient and loving. Why can't you see what the Bible is showing us? The herbs are for the healing of the nations. But he couldn't do it. He could not do it. I know he wanted to. He looked at me with these strange eyes, and he could not submit. He could not bend to God. Yet, he was a preacher. Why could we do it? Because we had no idea of the deleterious effect of starch and blood is going to have on your brain. You see, starch and blood are deadly. They will turn us against ourselves. Against ourselves. We're going to go back 365 years before Christ was born. The great Hippocrates, the father of medicine, the man that brought to us this edifice that we know today as the medical science. Well, as for us Africans, we didn't know anything about science. We didn't have to know anything about science. You see, science confounds things. God doesn't. And we did God. This is why oftentimes you have heard me say many times, I was never a sinner. I am not a sinner now because I'm not sinful. How could I be sinful? You know, when you think of yourself as being sinful, you have reduced yourself to a very low end, like you have no work because you're sinful. When I was never sinful, that's why I had no sins to repent. Because my research shows me that no, we were always godly. And because it took us away from that godly environment, now we are this what we are. Okay. All we need to do is to repair it. And that is exactly what I intended to do as a steam engineer. All of my friends said to me, are you crazy? You know, we read your resume, you didn't go to school. And you're going to heal people? I said, look, man, Gregory, I'm going to heal everybody. No, I'm going to heal everybody, I'm going to heal every disease. But what makes you so sure? What makes you so sure is that science has confounded things. They said that there are multiple diseases. And what do you say? There's only one. But for a black man, as young as I was then, I was in my early 30s, to stand up against science, making a claim that there's only one disease, and that you're going to go towards using herbs, that was unpopular. But you know that when you use God, you become unpopular? Of course. You become like someone distant now. When it shouldn't be that way. God is the answer in every step of our lives. I didn't realize that one day I would be saying these words to anyone. Why? Because I was a mischievous boy. I didn't go to church. I that. We're going to give you born again and you can go to church. We're going to go to church, little boy, naturally. I grew up in the church. Then I found it one day. I left the church. And I joined the Muslims. I joined Islam. Why did I join Islam? Because at the time that I joined the Muslim religion in the United States, they were talking about building things like Garvey, having business. But naturally, why should I feel good? This is independence. The Jew does it. Everybody does it. Mexican does it. They cooperate with each other. Why can't we? Why can't we cooperate with each other? But that starch and that blood is preventing us from really coming to the understanding that we need each other. So, as I embark on this journey of healing, because of my interest in black people and others too, but especially black people because I am black, I am an African by heritage, and it is incumbent upon me, as it is said, self-preservation is the first law of nature. But if we turn our love to ourselves, automatically we're going to love everyone and help everyone. How many white people, Chinese and Arab, has come to us for healing? Look at the beauty in it. The son of the slave is going to treat the son of the slave master. Think about it. Think about that transition from slave son to the provider of help to the slave master's children. Doesn't that make you feel good? Of course it does, because we have risen upon that level that would have caused us to be what? Angry. No, anger. Anger eats the owner. In the spring of African wisdom it is said that an angry heart devours its owner. So it is about love. It's about love tonight. Love is what brought me in front of you. And you, the Bahamian people, you brought me here. You beckoned me here. What I felt from you, I have not felt from any other group in the world. I have been in and out of many countries in Africa. They kicked me out. Get this nigger out in those words. That's okay. With me, everything is beautiful. I was not a nigger. They kicked me out. Mary Eugenia Jones, the Prime Minister, said, get him out. I was in Martinique. They kicked me out. I was in Curacao. Get him out. Wow, I said, why am I doing this bad? Why am I treated this way? So, naturally, my mom is alive. I would go to her and say, Mom, what's happening? She said, wow. I said, but Mom, why is it that I come telling people things and they tell that I'm lying? Well, they have to think that you're lying. Why do you have to think that? Think about it. They've been told one thing, you come to change that. Not going to happen overnight. So what do? You're going to place your hand in the newspaper that you cure AIDS, and you cure sickle cell, and you cure blindness, and you cure diabetes. You're going to put that in the newspaper. So I went to New York and I put it in the books. And instead of the Attorney General receiving this message as something good, he's going to send to arrest me. Oh my God, I'm getting arrested for what? Because I claim to cure AIDS, yes. But I do. What is wrong with that? Shouldn't we protect that? Shouldn't we just help that? We are sick. And if your brother is curing AIDS, what is the problem? The problem is that these 500 years that we've been on this side of Africa, we have been given information that was totally inconsistent with our genetic predisposition. But that's okay. That's okay. What saved me was Urwa.
is a very